put his foot into the basin of water, then picked up a cat and stared intensely into its eyes. Suddenly, the water beneath his feet began to boil, and the cat's pupils slowly shrank. Moments later, John was transported to hell. All around him were crumbling ruins engulfed in roaring flames. Holding a relic from the deceased, John quickly figured out which direction to go. This place was extremely dangerous, he had to move fast. As he went deeper, the demons nearby started to stir. Eventually, he found the girl, but the demons were ready to attack. John rushed toward her, but she jumped, leaving behind only a wristband. In a critical moment, John smashed the holy water, barely escaping back to the human world. Smoke poured from his body as he curled up in pain. He handed the wristband to Angela to prove that her sister, Isabel, had indeed fallen into hell. Even with the evidence right in front of her, Angela was still skeptical, but John was too weak to continue, so he asked the priest to investigate. The priest snuck into the morgue, found the body, and used his power to read Isabel's final memories. He placed his hands on her wrists, and his eyes rolled back as white smoke began to rise from his head. Then a demonic howl startled him, and a strange mark appeared on the body's wrist. Terrified, the priest collapsed. He pulled out his flask for a drink, but no liquid came out. In a panic, he ran into a nearby convenience store, grabbed a bottle, and started chugging. But bottle after bottle, not a single drop came out. Weak and hopeless, he fell to the ground, realizing he was about to die. So he took a bottle opener and stabbed his own palm, leaving a clue for John. By the time John arrived, the priest was already dead. He saw the mark carved into the priest's hand, wiped away the blood with an ice cube, and covered it with a cloth. A mysterious symbol appeared. John immediately called his friend Mike and asked him to look into it. Mike didn't let him down, he found the answer in the Hell Bible. It was the symbol of Mammon, the son of Satan. According to the Bible, Mammon didn't want to be bound by his father's rules and longed to build his own kingdom on earth. But for a pure-blood demon to enter the human world, it would need a powerful psychic as a medium. That person was Angela's sister, Isabel. Before Mike could finish explaining, a fly crawled out of his eye. John knew something was wrong and told Angela to drive faster. But when they arrived, Mike was already dead. At that point, Angela had no choice but to tell the truth. She and her sister, like John, were born with the ability to see into both worlds. In fact, Angela's spiritual power was even stronger than her sister's. But unlike Isabel, Angela rejected her gift. She didn't want to be seen as a freak, so she shut it away. Over time, the power faded. But now, to save her sister, Angela decided to awaken it again and asked John for help. John had Angela lie in a bathtub filled with water, because water acts as a medium between the living and the dead. But to quickly reawaken her dormant power, she needed to come close to death. As a single droplet of water hovered midair for 2.5 seconds, the tub suddenly exploded. Her powers finally awaken again now. The vision of hell had left her shaken, but she suddenly remembered something and pulled John back to where Mike had died. On the floor, she found a coin. John took one look at it and immediately knew who had killed Mike. To avenge Mike, John turned to the dark Bible and followed a diagram to assemble a shotgun. Not long after, a glowing holy shotgun was complete.